Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel called Conversation Corner. I'm starting a new video series called Mental Language Therapy Sessions. I found the need to build this series because I believe that as food is the nourishment for our stomach, language is the nourishment for our mind. And when you eat food that really isn't good for you, you fall ill, right? Your stomach gives some weird reactions, and sometimes you either throw up your food or you have diarrhea. However, when you consume information that's really bad for your mind, the effects aren't so immediate, which is why it's really, really, really important to be aware of what goes into your mind. And a lot of what goes into your mind is by the way of language is essentially the map to your mind, and it decides the course of action you take. It decides the thoughts and emotions that you experience during the day. So I came up with this idea of this series called Mental Language Therapy, where I'll be talking about some very common and popular sayings and why I feel these sayings are essentially wrong, or if they're not wrong, they're incomplete. Once you start going through these video sessions, you'll get an idea of the kind of mental models you have built in your head from all the idioms and phrases you've learned so far, and then you'll be able to find out why exactly they aren't 100% right. So, we're going to start today with the saying called seeing is believing. So, the saying seeing is believing is originally used to convey the idea that the only way you know that something is true is if you have experienced that and tested it and seen it for yourself, right? So, they say don't rely on hearsay. Very often, we just hear some things, we take that to be true, which is often a rumor in some cases, which is why they say what is seen has more importance than what has been heard. So that's how the expression seeing is believing has come into existence. Now, the reason why seeing is not entirely believing is for two reasons. First is what you see, and number two is how you process what you see. So, when you see something, you aren't guaranteed that you're looking at that thing as it is. In his dissertation called Vivek Chudamani, a great Indian philosopher by the name of Adi Shankaracharya gave an example of where a rope in the dark appears to be a snake. So you see a rope in the dark, you believe it's a snake, and as soon as there's light that's shining on that, you find out that it's not the snake, it's actually a rope. So here is a case of faulty perception, which tells you why seeing exactly isn't believing all the time. Now I will tell you of the mental process of what you see, right? Now you may see something and not get the full context of what has been seen, okay? Suppose you see someone holding another person hostage at gunpoint. At that point in time, you may believe that this person is threatening the other person with their life. However, if you go closer, you find out what is happening is that a movie scene is being shot. And in that movie scene, this person is holding a gun to the head of the other person. So, what you saw was what was happening, but there's a different meaning to it. You saw a person holding a gun to someone else's head, but you took that meaning as someone being threatened with their life, when the reality of the situation was that the person was enacting a scene from a movie. So, again, here, if you think seeing is believing, you're mistaken, right? This is another instance of your eyes betraying you, or if not your eyes betraying you, your mind betraying you by you coming to a wrong conclusion. So the two reasons why seeing is not exactly believing is you may not be perceiving things correctly, and you may not be seeing things as they are, which was the example of the rope appearing as a snake in the dark. And number two, the meaning you give to what you see. In this case, where the person held a gun to the other person's head, you thought This was a case of robbery, armed robbery, or extortion, whereas the reality was someone was just shooting a movie scene. So keep in mind that the common saying, seeing is believing, is not 100% correct, and you cannot trust your eyes in all instances, because either you may not be perceiving things as they are, or number two, even if you perceive things just the way they are through your senses, the interpretation you give to the event might be wrong. So keep this in mind next time you hear anyone saying that seeing is believing. Hope you like the content of this video, and share your opinions in the comment section so that we can interact about this topic. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.